Number 10. Vladimir Klitschko with a total net worth $58 million. Ruling the heavyweight division for 15 years has led Klitschko to making the top 10. After the Ukrainian lost to Lemon Brewster in 2004, Klitschko remained unbeaten for 11 years until his loss to Tyson Fury. It was the fight against Fury as well as his final career bout against Anthony Joshua that saw the former WBA, IBF, and WBO champion earn career-high paydays. Since retiring, Klitschko along with his brother Vitaly have been valiantly fighting in the war for Ukraine. Number 9. Anthony Joshua with a total net worth $60 million. After bursting onto the scene by winning gold at the London Olympics, Anthony Joshua has become Britain's biggest pay-per-view star. The highest payday of AJ's career came in 2019 during his rematch against Andy Ruiz Jr., where the Brit reportedly pocketed $66 million. With big fights still to be made in the heavyweight division, such as the scheduled rematch bout with Usyk as well as potential future bouts against Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder, we could see Joshua soon surge up closer to the top of the list. Number 8. Ray Leonard with a total net worth $88 million. Known as one of the Four Kings, Leonard won world titles in 5 divisions from welterweight to super middleweight, alongside a gold medal at the 1976 Montreal Olympic Games to add to his achievements. The American picked up many big paydays against Marvin Hagler, Donnie Lalonde, and Thomas Hems. But the biggest purse of Leonard's career came in his trilogy fight with Roberto Duran, in which he earned $15 million. Number 7. Tyson Fury with a total net worth $100 million. The Gypsy King earned a career-high payday against Dillian Whyte this April, which saw him bring home a purse of $29.5 million. Other big purses have come from fights against Vladimir Klitschko, alongside his trilogy series with Deontay Wilder. Despite the retirement claim made by Fury, he returned to the ring to fight for the undisputed heavyweight titles, or a crossover bout against Francis Ngannou could help boost that net worth even further. Number 6. Lennox Lewis with a total net worth $103 million. Lewis sits at the highest Brit in the list with the help of his big money fights against Evander Holyfield, Shannon Briggs, and Frank Bruno. It's the Mike Tyson fight that generated him the most money, with an estimated $112 million being awarded to Lewis after the pay-per-view was bought nearly 2 million times, becoming the 5th most bought of all time. Unlike many other heavyweights of that era, the last undisputed heavyweight champion hasn't been forced to make a return to the ring. Number 5. Saul Canelo Alvarez with a total net worth $105 million. The last boxer and the last hoe is still active within the professional code. Canelo has become the most marketable boxer on the planet, with his fight against Floyd Mayweather being the most lucrative at 2.2 million pay-per-view buys. Bout against Chavez and Golovkin have also propelled that net worth of the Mexican pound-for-pound star. Since he lost to Dimitri Bivol, the potential rematch has become one of the most anticipated fights in the boxing, and could become one of his highest earning fights since the bout with Mayweather in 2013. Number 4. Oscar De La Hoya with a total net worth $148 million. Despite fighting in some of the biggest fights during his career, such as Felix Trinidad and Bernard Hopkins, it was one of his last fights against Mayweather that saw the Golden Boy earn his biggest pay-per-view of total $52 million. De La Hoya, a former 6th Division world champion, has continued to earn his wealth in boxing by setting up his promotional company Golden Boy Promotions. He promoted Canelo Alvarez and now works with Virgil Ortiz Jr., Jay Munya, Gilberto Ramirez, and Ryan Garcia. Number 3. Manny Pacquiao, with a total net worth $163 million. Like a few stars on this list, Pacquiao made his biggest payday while fighting Mayweather, as the fight generated an astonishing $600 million, as well as becoming the highest grossing pay-per-view of all time. The Filipino became the only man to become an 8-weight world champion, winning titles from flyweight all the way to light middleweight. Pacquiao has since used his millions to forge a career in politics in his motherland of the Philippines. Number 2. George Foreman, with a total net worth $222 million. The 81-fight veteran finds himself the runner-up on the list. He made $200 million from the George Foreman Grill alone. Away from culinary items, Foreman has cemented himself as one of the greatest heavyweights to grace the ring, fighting the likes of Joe Frazier, Evander Holyfield, and Muhammad Ali. Sitting as the richest heavyweight on the list, Foreman can continue grilling his steaks with a smile on his face. Number 1. Floyd Mayweather, with a total net worth $400 million. Who else was going to be? With the nickname Money for a reason, Mayweather gave many of his opponents their biggest paydays, as well as being involved in the top 4 most bought pay-per-view of all time. It was Pacquiao who gave Floyd his largest payday, however, when he earned $250 million for fighting the Filipino in 2015. Since retiring, Mayweather has continued making his money through exhibition bouts, recently fighting YouTuber Logan Paul.